Nobody expected the night to end in flashing blue lights. It was supposed to be just another celebrity-packed evening outside one of Atlanta's most exclusive clubs. Velvet ropes, blacked-out SUVs, paparazzi lined up like it was awards season. Inside, bottles were popping. Outside, egos were quietly colliding. And somewhere between the music thumping through the walls and the whispers in the VIP section, tension that had been simmering for years finally boiled over. According to multiple eyewitnesses, things took a sharp turn when T.I. allegedly came face-to-face with longtime rival 50 Cent near the club's private exit. At first, it looked like nothing more than a cold stare. No smiles, no handshakes, just two rap titans standing inches apart while their entourages shifted nervously. Then someone said something. Sources claim 50 smirked and made a slick comment referencing past business drama. T.I. reportedly didn't take it lightly. Voices rose. Phones came out. Security stepped in. And before anyone could fully process what was happening, the confrontation allegedly escalated into what one club employee described as almost a full-blown fight. Fans are shocked because this isn't random tension. This is history. Years of subtle jabs, interviews, Instagram shade, and industry politics bubbling up in one chaotic moment. Witnesses say T.I. tried to push past security to handle it like men, while 50 remained calm but verbally sharp, R allegedly telling him, "You don't want this kind of headline." Minutes later, police were on the scene. And by the end of the night, rumors began swirling that T.I. had been briefly detained, some even claiming he was arrested. Was it a misunderstanding? A setup? Or the final chapter of a rivalry that never really died? Stay with me. Because what happened next has the entire internet divided. The energy outside the club shifted before anybody even realized it. One minute it was flashing cameras and bass vibrating through the pavement. The next it felt like the air itself got tight. You know that feeling when something is about to happen but nobody wants to say it out loud? That was the vibe when T.I. stepped out of his SUV, suited up, chin high, moving with that calm authority Atlanta knows too well. Across the entrance, leaning against a black Escalade with that unmistakable half-smirk, stood 50 Cent. Quiet, observant, almost amused. For years, their tension has lived in interviews, in slick comments, in the spaces between jokes that didn't feel like jokes. It was never a screaming beef. It was colder than that. Strategic, calculated. But when two alpha personalities occupy the same physical space, history doesn't stay buried. Witnesses say it started subtle. A glance held just a second too long. A nod that wasn't returned. Someone from 50's entourage allegedly laughed at a comment that no one else heard clearly. One club insider claimed they heard 50 mutter, "Still talking about me for headlines?" It wasn't loud, it wasn't aggressive, but it was enough. I reportedly paused mid-step. And that pause, that's when everything slowed down. Sources close to the situation claimed I turned, adjusted his jacket, and walked directly toward 50. Not rushed, not wild, just deliberate. The kind of walk that says this conversation isn't optional. Cameras started lifting higher. Security stiffened. Even the valet attendants stopped moving. "What you say?" T.I. allegedly asked, voice low but sharp. 50 didn't raise his tone. That's what people keep mentioning. He stayed cool. "You heard me," he supposedly replied, shrugging slightly. "I ain't repeating it." Fans are shocked because neither of them are rookies. They've been in this game too long to lose control publicly, but pride has a way of overriding experience. According to multiple eyewitness accounts, T.I. stepped closer, pointing a finger toward 50's chest. "Don't play with me in my city," he allegedly said. That line alone sent shockwaves through social media once it started circulating. Atlanta is T.Y.'s territory. Everyone knows that. And 50? He's never been the type to back down just because of geography. 50 reportedly laughed. Not a loud laugh, just that quiet, dismissive chuckle he's known for. "This ain't about cities," he allegedly responded. "This about respect." And just like that, emotions ran high. Members of both entourages began stepping forward. Not swinging, not yet. But the space between the two camps shrank dramatically. Phones were recording from every angle. Some fans even climbed onto nearby cars to get a better view. It stopped being a celebrity sighting and turned into a live reality episode unfolding in real time. One security guard later described it as controlled chaos. Nobody had thrown a punch, but the tension felt physical. Like one wrong word could shatter everything. Then came the shove. Sources differ on who initiated it. Some say T. I tried to move past security to get closer. Others claim someone from 50's side bumped into T.I.'s shoulder first. What's consistent in every account is that there was sudden movement, fast, aggressive movement, and security immediately swarmed. "Chill! Chill! It ain't worth it!" Someone could be heard yelling in one of the viral clips. But at that point, it wasn't about worth. It was about pride. T.I. Allegedly broke free for a split second, reaching toward 50's direction before being restrained again. 50, meanwhile, reportedly stepped back but kept talking. "You proving my point right now?" he allegedly said, shaking his head. Fans online were divided instantly. Some argued that 50 baited him. Others insisted T.I. overreacted. The comment sections looked like battlegrounds. "He set him up," one user wrote. "Nah, Tip gotta control that temper," another fired back. And then the sirens came. Blue lights reflected off tinted windows and diamond chains. Police pulled up quickly, responding to reports of a potential fight involving high-profile individuals. The crowd scattered slightly but didn't fully disperse. Everyone wanted to see how this would end. Officers approached with caution. According to witnesses, T.I. was visibly frustrated, but not out of control. He was allegedly explaining, gesturing with his hands, pointing toward 50 as if recounting what was said. 50, on the other hand, appeared calm, speaking quietly to one officer while leaning against his vehicle. That contrast became the headline before the headline. Within minutes, rumors spread that T.I. had been detained. Some videos show him being guided toward a patrol car. Was he arrested? Briefly held? Simply separated for questioning? The footage doesn't show handcuffs clearly, which only fueled speculation. Fans are shocked because the narrative escalated faster than facts. Twitter posts claimed he was locked up. Instagram blogs screamed, "Arrested." Others said it was just standard procedure to de-escalate. Inside the club, word traveled quickly. VIP sections emptied. Promoters panicked. One event organizer allegedly muttered, "This is bad for business." Because when legends clash publicly, venues feel it too. As police sorted through statements, 50 reportedly remained at the scene for a short time before leaving without incident. That detail alone intensified debate. Why was one escorted and the other free to go? Was it about who was more aggressive? Or was there something deeper at play? Meanwhile, sources close to T.I. claim he felt disrespected in his own city. "He ain't startin' nothing," one insider allegedly said. But he wasn't about to be played either. That statement hints at the emotional core of this clash. This wasn't random club drama. This was ego, history, legacy colliding in public. And the wildest part? Neither of them had posted anything yet. No statements, no denials, no jokes, just silence. And in 2026, silence is louder than screaming. Because when two hip-hop heavyweights collide under flashing police lights, the story doesn't end when the sirens fade. That's when it really begins. By the time the sun started creeping over Atlanta's skyline, the internet had already decided what happened, even though nobody had the full story. Grainy clips looped over and over. Freeze frames of T.I. being guided toward a patrol car became thumbnails across every major hip-hop blog. Meanwhile, screenshots of 50 Cent standing calm with his arms folded were captioned with everything from unbothered king to master manipulator. Fans are shocked at how quickly the narrative split. One side claims 50 orchestrated the entire moment. They point to his history of strategic trolling, the way he knows how to poke and step back just enough to avoid consequences. I.e., he baited him. One viral tweet read, "He knew exactly what to say." Others insist T.I. let emotion override wisdom. "You can't preach growth and then lose it outside a club," another commenter wrote. The comment sections turned into digital war zones, Atlanta versus New York, all over again. But here's where it gets complicated. A security staff member from the club, who spoke anonymously, allegedly revealed that tension had already been building inside before the confrontation moved outdoors. According to this source, both entourages were placed in separate VIP areas on opposite sides of the venue. The club tried to keep distance between them, but word travels fast in tight spaces. They knew he was there, the staffer reportedly said. Both sides knew. That changes everything, because if both camps were aware, then this wasn't a surprise encounter. It was two powerful figures knowingly occupying the same building despite history. Was that confidence? Or confrontation waiting to happen? Inside sources claim that earlier in the night, 50 allegedly made a toast referencing longevity over noise. No names were mentioned, but some attendees interpreted it as a subtle jab. Minutes later, T.I. was reportedly informed about the comment. Emotions ran high even before the parking lot showdown. And then came another twist that nobody saw coming. A short video surfaced from a fan inside the club showing T.I. laughing and vibing just an hour before the incident. Calm, relaxed, smiling. That footage fueled a new theory, that something specific must have been said outside to shift his mood so drastically. Meanwhile, 50 finally broke his silence. Not with a rant, not with a denial, with a meme. He posted a throwback photo of himself boxing with the caption, "Cardio important." No direct mention of T.I. But the timing? Ruthless. The internet exploded. Some fans laughed. Others called it disrespectful. He making light of a serious situation, critics argued. Supporters countered, that's just 50 being 50. T.I.'s camp, however, didn't find it funny. A longtime associate of T.I. went live and said, "Don't twist it. He ain't get arrested for fighting. He was detained because police showed up and separated everybody." Let's be clear. That word, detained, became the new debate. Was it just questioning? Or something more? Local law enforcement released a vague statement confirming that officers responded to a disturbance call and temporarily detained one individual for questioning before releasing them without charges. They did not name T.I., but the timing aligned too perfectly for people not to connect the dots. Fans are shocked because legally, it seems minor. But culturally, it's major. Being escorted to a patrol car outside your own city hits different, especially when cameras are rolling. Behind the scenes, whispers of deeper tension resurfaced. Industry insiders reminded everyone that years ago, there were public disagreements between the two over business ventures and public commentary. Subtle shade in interviews. Competitive energy during the Versus-era conversations. It never turned explosive, but it never disappeared either. And now, that history feels relevant. A source close to 50 allegedly told a blog that he felt no threat whatsoever and viewed the entire situation as misplaced aggression. That phrase alone triggered another wave of outrage. Misplaced? according to who? On the other side, someone from TI's circle claimed he felt publicly provoked. "You don't question a man's credibility in his own city," the insider reportedly said. "That's disrespect layered." The family was left divided online when even other artists began chiming in. A few Atlanta rappers posted supportive messages toward TI, emphasizing city loyalty. Meanwhile, some New York artists subtly praised 50's composure. The generational divide layered on top of the geographic divide, making it feel like more than just two individuals. Emotions ran high when an old interview resurfaced of TI, discussing maturity and conflict resolution. Critics immediately juxtaposed it with the recent footage, accusing him of contradiction. Supporters argued that being mature doesn't mean accepting disrespect. And then came another curveball. A rumor began circulating that the club had prior knowledge of potential tension, but chose not to cancel appearances because of ticket sales. If true, that adds a business angle. Did promoters gamble on controversy for publicity? Were security measures tightened quietly in anticipation? Neither side has confirmed that theory. But in 2026, speculation travels faster than truth. Late that evening, TI finally posted a cryptic message. Growth doesn't mean weakness. No context, no explanation, just that line. It immediately became a trending quote. Some interpreted it as justification. Others saw it as reflection. Hours later, 50 posted again. This time, a photo of himself laughing with the caption, "I love Atlanta." The comment section went wild. Was it sarcasm? Or an attempt to de-escalate? Fans are arguing nonstop because both moves can be read two different ways. That's what makes this so combustible. Nothing is fully clear, but everything feels intentional. And perhaps the most telling detail of all? Neither man has outright denied the confrontation. No press conference, no detailed explanation. Just selective posts and strategic silence. When two seasoned veterans play the long game, every move becomes chess. And right now, the board is set, the pieces are in motion, and the culture is watching closely to see who makes the next undeniable move. By the third day, the club parking lot incident had transformed from a viral clip into a cultural referendum. It wasn't just about who stepped forward first or who stayed calm under flashing lights. It became about legacy, ego, and who really holds power when cameras are rolling. And that's when the behind-the-scenes whispers started getting louder than the footage itself. A well-connected Atlanta nightlife promoter quietly revealed that both camps had been warned earlier in the week that they might cross paths. According to him, everybody knew it was a possibility. Nobody thought it would go left like that. That sentence alone shifted the mood. If they knew, then why show up? Was it confidence? Was it calculated? Or was it two giants daring the universe to test them? Meanwhile, tension reportedly spilled into private phone calls. Sources claim someone close to T. I reached out to mutual industry contacts demanding clarity about what was allegedly said before the confrontation. The phrase, "respect in my city," keeps surfacing in insider conversations. For TI, Atlanta isn't just a location. It's identity. It's reputation. It's history built over decades. On the other side, people in 50 Cent's circle are allegedly brushing it off as theatrics. One insider supposedly said, "Curtis don't get emotional. He's strategic." That word, strategic, keeps echoing through every recap. Because if anyone understands narrative control, it's 50. Fans are shocked because the situation isn't escalating with punches. It's escalating with perception. And then another twist hit. A private security contractor who works high-profile events hinted on a podcast that law enforcement presence that night may have been pre-coordinated due to high-profile personalities with known tension. He didn't mention names directly, but listeners connected dots instantly. If police were already on standby, That suggests the risk was anticipated. Emotions ran high when a leaked text message allegedly from a member of T.I.'s extended camp surfaced online. The message read, "They think it's funny till it ain't." No context, no verification, but it spread like wildfire. Some fans interpreted it as a warning, others called it fake. Still, it added fuel. Meanwhile, 50 continued moving like nothing happened. He was spotted the next evening at a business dinner, smiling for photos. Calm. Composed. That contrast intensified criticism toward T.I., with some arguing that composure equals control. But supporters of T.I. fired back hard on saying restraint doesn't mean someone else was right. The family was left divided publicly when an Atlanta radio host defended T.Y. on air, saying, "Every man got a breaking point." Hours later, a New York commentator responded, "Breaking points shouldn't come from words." That debate cut deep. Are words harmless? Or can they be powerful enough to justify confrontation? Behind closed doors, sources claim T.I. was frustrated not just about what was said, but about how it was said. Allegedly, and he felt the comment was designed to provoke him in front of cameras. That's a different kind of disrespect. Public provocation forces reaction. Reaction creates headlines. Headlines create narrative. And narrative is everything in 2026. A surprising layer emerged when industry analysts began examining timing. Both artists have upcoming projects rumored to drop this year. Some skeptics started questioning whether the clash was organic or opportunistic. San controversy equals streams, one music marketing strategist posted. That theory split the internet again. Was this a heated personal moment? Or was it business disguised as chaos? Then came the nightclub's official statement. The club released a carefully worded message saying they regret any misunderstanding that occurred and are reviewing security protocols for future high-profile events. No blame assigned, no names mentioned. But the phrase misunderstanding rubbed fans the wrong way. Or a misunderstanding doesn't bring police cars and viral footage. Emotions ran high when a longtime collaborator of T.I. posted a black screen with the words, "Loyalty over optics." That cryptic message felt loaded. Was he implying that loyalty requires standing up publicly? Or was he criticizing the spectacle? At the same time, a close associate of 50 reportedly told a blogger that he felt no need to escalate because actions speak louder than reactions. Again, subtle but pointed. The psychological sparring never stopped. Another unexpected twist surfaced when footage from a different angle showed that, just before police arrived, someone from 50's entourage appeared to step forward aggressively. It was brief, blurry, but enough to complicate the T.I. lost control narrative. Fans are arguing non-stop about that clip. "Look at the timestamp," one commenter insisted. "That changes everything." Others dismissed it as misinterpretation. What's undeniable is that both men are hyper-aware of optics. Neither has posted an emotional rant. Neither has issued a full explanation. Just calculated messages, controlled appearances, strategic silence. And silence can be louder than shouting. In private, sources claim there were attempts to arrange a conversation between both camps to prevent long-term fallout. But pride doesn't bend easily, especially when millions are watching and dissecting your every move. In the deeper conflict here feels less about a single comment and more about accumulated tension. Years of competitive energy. Years of subtle shade. Years of navigating power in a space where reputation can't afford cracks. Fans are shocked not because a fight almost happened, but because two seasoned veterans allowed the possibility of it to exist publicly. And as days pass, the question grows heavier. Is this finished? Or is this just the beginning of a colder, more calculated rivalry? Because in hip-hop, some battles aren't fought with fists. They're fought with narrative control. And right now, the narrative is still shifting. By the fourth night, the tension didn't explode. It evolved. What started as a near-physical clash outside an Atlanta club had now morphed into something colder, more psychological. The streets weren't talking about punches anymore. They were talking about power, about legacy, about who really walked away with the upper hand. Inside Atlanta, all conversations felt personal. T.I. isn't just another celebrity there. He's woven into the city's musical DNA. Radio hosts began speaking more boldly. One late-night personality said on air, "You don't test a man's respect in his hometown and expect a handshake." That line echoed through social media within minutes. Meanwhile, up north, the narrative felt different. Commentators praised 50 Cent for composure. "He mastered the art of provocation without consequence," one blogger wrote. That phrase stung for T.I.'s supporters because it framed the situation like a chess match and implied that one player moved smarter. Fans are shocked because this isn't loud chaos anymore. It's controlled positioning. Then another unexpected twist surfaced. A private audio clip allegedly recorded by a bystander started circulating in encrypted group chats before leaking to blogs. The audio captured raised voices but no clear insults. However, one phrase stood out clearly. "You've been waiting for this moment." The voice was believed by many to be T.I.'s, though it hasn't been confirmed. That sentence changed the emotional lens entirely. If true, it suggests he believed this wasn't random, that someone had been waiting to provoke him publicly. Emotions ran high when the audio spread. Some fans sympathized, arguing that long-standing tension can feel like a trap when it erupts in public, or others doubled down on the idea that seasoned artists should know better. And then came the family dimension. A member of T.Y.'s extended family posted, "Growth doesn't mean you tolerate disrespect." The comment section exploded instantly. The family was left divided in public opinion, with some urging restraint and others demanding accountability from anyone who crossed a line. Family loyalty has weight in Southern culture, and when relatives speak out, it makes the conflict feel deeper than entertainment. At the same time, someone close to 50 reportedly shared that he was unbothered and focused on bigger moves. Within 48 hours of the incident, 50 announced a new business partnership online, almost as if redirecting the narrative intentionally. That move felt strategic. It shifted headlines from confrontation to commerce. But underneath that surface calm, insiders claim conversations were happening. A mutual industry mogul allegedly reached out to both camps with a simple message. This can either fade quietly or get ugly publicly. That warning carried weight. Neither man benefits from a drawn-out feud that could damage brand partnerships or future collaborations. Yet, pride is stubborn. A surprising angle emerged when footage showed several younger Atlanta rappers arriving at the club later that night in visible support of T.I., though they never got involved. Their presence sent a subtle message: unity. It wasn't aggressive, but it was symbolic. Meanwhile, in New York circles, artists reposted 50's meme with laughing emojis, reinforcing his image as untouchable. The generational divide layered onto the geographic divide, and suddenly this felt bigger than two individuals. It felt like eras colliding. Fans are arguing in the comments because the footage never shows a punch thrown. No clear first strike, no undeniable villain, just tension, pride, and flashing lights. That ambiguity keeps the debate alive. Another rumor started gaining traction, that club management may have intentionally seated both camps in proximity to boost publicity. If true, that would reframe everything as manufactured drama. However, no concrete proof supports that claim. Still, the theory refuses to die because in 2026, controversy equals clicks. Emotions ran high again when T.I. appeared at a community event days later. I'm speaking about leadership and responsibility. Critics called it image repair. Supporters called it maturity. The optics were powerful either way. Then 50 posted something that made people pause. Not a meme, not a joke. A simple quote, "Silence is also a move." That line hit differently. It suggested strategy rather than mockery. Fans dissected it instantly. Was he signaling that he wouldn't escalate further? Or was it a reminder that sometimes the loudest victory is the quiet one? Behind closed doors, there are whispers that both sides agreed to let the situation cool. No diss tracks, no interviews, no further commentary. But that doesn't erase the moment that already happened. The most telling detail is that neither has publicly denied the confrontation outright. No official press conference clarifying every detail. Just carefully curated posts and strategic appearances. Fans are shocked not because there was a fight, but because there wasn't. Because in an era where viral moments often spiral into chaos, this one stopped at the edge. It hovered over the cliff and stepped back. But stepping back doesn't mean forgetting. The tension now feels archived, stored, waiting. And the culture knows one thing for sure. When two icons with layered history collide in public, even briefly, the ripple effect doesn't disappear overnight. It lingers. And everyone is still watching to see whether this was a closed chapter or just the calm before something colder, smarter, and far more strategic unfolds. So now the question isn't just what happened outside that club, it's what happens next. Was T.I. truly pushed to a breaking point in his own city? Or did 50 Cent play the long game and win without ever throwing a punch? Fans are shocked at how fast this escalated from a stare-down to flashing police lights. Emotions ran high, and the family was left divided. Cities picked sides. Old interviews resurfaced. Memes turned into narratives. And somehow, no official charges, no confirmed fight, just tension hanging in the air like unfinished business. Was it ego? Was it strategy? Was it a setup? Or was it simply two legends refusing to let old energy slide? That's what makes this moment so dangerous and so fascinating at the same time. Because in hip-hop, perception is power. And right now, the culture is split on who really walked away with it. Now I need to hear from you. Do you think T.I. overreacted? Or do you believe 50 knew exactly what he was doing? If cameras weren't there, would this have played out differently? Drop your thoughts in the comments right now. And don't hold back, because this debate is not cooling off anytime soon. If you rock with real, unfiltered, culture-shaking breakdowns like this, make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on post notifications so you don't miss the next twist. Because if diss tracks drop, if interviews surface, or if this rivalry reignites in a bigger way, you already know we're breaking it down the second it happens. Stay locked in. The culture is watching, and this story might not be over.